Are you ready? The show's about to start. Everything NBL One West. Fixtures, results, and updates is right here. Fast Break Radio. Sponsored by Buckets Basketball, Bass Compression, and Hoop With 'em.
Welcome to Fast Break Radio for this week with me, Jake Singleton. And we got a big show talking about round 7, round 8 in the NBL One West. And we're already up to round 7. We'll go through that, round 8 coming up. The season always goes so quick. But we're going to talk about the women's first in the NBL One West. Before I do that, I've got to shout out my sponsors, Bass Compression, Buckets Basketball, and Hoop With 'em. So thank you for their support and check them out on their socials because, they do a great job. But, we're going to go, as I said, straight into the women's division as we always do. To start off the show, and joining me, head coach of the Lakeside Lightning Women's, it's Craig Mansfield. Craig, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks, Jackie. Thanks for having me.
No worries. And you've been a long-time guest of the show. I try my best to get you on as regularly as we can. And great guy to talk to. And, now back with a former team at Lakeside Lightning where you won a championship. You've had a lot of great memories there. And, it's great to see you back there. And, what was kind of the decision for you to go back to Lakeside this year?
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed my time at Hawks, and it's a great club, and they were really good. And obviously, I've got a lot of history at Lakeside, and my wife's a life member there, and she played there. And thinking about it from a family decision, and Lakeside approached me and had some really productive conversations with them, and it just kind of felt like the right timing. And I'm someone that does quite enjoy, like new challenges and that arc of sort of rebuilding or building up. So, and look, there's some people on the board there and some people that I've known for 20, 30 years and have a bit of equity with. So, a lot of things, and certainly not any reflection on, Hawks or previous year or anything like that. It was something my wife and I sat down and talked about, and we were both excited for.
Yeah, well, we've got a good bunch of girls, and I know in the preseason losing Tage Morrell, a huge loss going to Rockingham, as her father's still there with assistant coach with the men's moved on to that position. But, bringing in for her first game, Delaney Crawford, which I'm very excited to see, and even Esmeralda Morales. She's had some really, really big games. And talk about those two imports and why they were, kind of targets for you with this roster this year.
Yeah, I mean, they, losing Tage was obviously a loss. We'll forgive her for going to play for her husband, of course. But and it's fantastic. Marty has stayed at the club, and I've really enjoyed getting to know him. He's a really, really nice guy, and he's good to talk hoops with. But you go through the process. So we're looking at who's returning and what spots do we need to fill, and then what Australians do we get, and where are the gaps. And both of them were pretty easy decisions. And it's also about like who will fit with the style of play you want to play, and my style as a coach, and the club environment. And they both seemed a really, really good fit, and they were, as soon as I sort of know what player profiles I was looking for, like I was immediately on to Delaney and had some productive conversations. And I think initially she was looking at the South Conference, so it's good to get her out here to the West, and the same with Esme. It's funny, it was one of those years where it really came together nicely, and I managed to sort of target people that were very high up on my list and got them to commit, and they've been fantastic for Lakeside. So, and really excited to have them both out here and have them contribute to the NBL One program, but also the club as well.
Yeah, well, some really good players as well also on the roster right now. I think one of a surprising kind of signing was Sam Roscoe as well. We know Sam had kind of retired from basketball, last year, and moved to Bristol and was working for Bristol Sport. Me being from Bristol, I actually saw Sammy in the off season at a soccer game. Yeah, so I
Yeah,
actually saw Sammy, and yeah, it was great to see her at work and everything. We were there watching a soccer match, and yeah, for my hometown team, so it was great to see her.
yeah,
But yeah, I know Sam has gone through some stuff. She's lost a family member in that time, and I think coming home has been a great adjustment for her, and something that she may have needed to do. But yeah, I guess when you heard she was coming back, I feel like you might have been one of the first people to know because you've have history with her as well, coaching her. I think it was at Eastern Suns, if I'm correct.
Lakeside. So she was,
At Lakeside, yeah.
yeah, she started in our championship team, but Sam
Mm.
played WA Metro teams for me when she was
Ah, yeah.
15 or 16, and she actually, the college she went to is where I went to and coached. So
Oh, okay, yep.
that there's a bit of a connection there. But yeah, look, I sort of found out pretty early because Sam and I are close, and I also know the family. So yeah, family
Mm.
circumstance brought her back, and as soon as that was the case, it's obviously you got more important things to do with Sam, and not trying to pressure you. But yeah, if you want to play basketball, we're very, 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 very happy to have her, and that's worked out tremendously for us. And me coming in first year new and her coming back new. And yes, she's had some time off, but I think the fact that everything's new for everyone this year has
Mm,
probably helped her. And she's certainly got the respect of the girls and in the leadership group. So that's been a really fantastic opportunity, and particularly also within the framework of the restricted player rules and the points
mm,
to be able to fill that position with an experienced professional was part of then what enabled us to get Delaney and Esme and
mm.
and that type of stuff. So yeah, it's worked out really well, and I've enjoyed coaching Sam as always, and the club's loved having her back. So hopefully, she's finding the experience of value as well.
Mm. Definitely a valuable player to have, and she's shown that 9 points a game, 5 rebounds, just over about 2.5 assists a game. So definitely playing her role, and yeah, and the good thing is she's played in the league before. She knows what she's doing, so I feel like she can kind of fit into this group, and she has. But you mentioned the point system, and I've spoke to Vladilava about the point system. Is it okay if I speak to you from your point of view? Because I feel
Yeah,
like it's been tricky to deal with the points. It's something that was brought in this year. You know me, I've coached on coaching staffs before, and we've never really had to deal with it. Just normally, two restricted players or blah 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 kind of thing.
mm.
But yeah, from your point of view, what do you think about the points rules this year?
Yeah. Look, I think it's um, if you're coming in cold, it's a complicated system,
Mm.
and often people ask me, and you explain it, and they sort of go, "Say what now?" And you have to explain it to them again, and because you've kind of got two sides of the coin. You've got the restricted player classifications,
Mm-hmm.
which fill out the points, but then you've got the criteria you need to commit that affect what points you have available the following season. What I do like about it, I do like the idea of prioritizing the WA pathway. Lakeside, when they put the rule in, they audited the clubs from the previous season, and Lakeside was actually one of only a couple of teams that didn't comply,
Mm.
and so that's going to be a something we've been working towards. On my end, I maintain a spreadsheet every week tracking minutes and that kind of stuff, so we know roughly how we're going. And the onus will be on us to grow a few more players so that in a year or two it's actually not even something we have to think about because it just happens automatically.
Mm.
And the other thing I really like about it is I do like the fact that what it does is it actually kind of redirects some value to WA players because often I've
Mm.
sort of found over the years we get some really really good interstate players, Sharpie and Gorman, and the
Mm.
list goes on, but we also recruit a bunch and often end up paying them money and accommodating them, giving them a car, and they're very comparable to people we've got in WA, and some of those resources aren't going to those people because they're here, whereas now the restricted player rule means like you need an amount of WA players that contribute an amount of minutes, and you need a couple of people from your home club. So all of a sudden, like it just tips the value equation. And if
Mm.
you've got a comparable player that's going to help you meet the criteria for the rule, well, then you're motivated to invest in them or make sure they have a good experience or make sure they stay in the club and stay in the league. So I don't think it's bad. I obviously have some thoughts on what I would tweak, and I won't express them now. But
Mm,
I think it probably the idea comes from the right place, and it's like anything, right? You put it in, and I'm sure it'll get tweaked a little bit over the years to get the right balance. But all
mm,
in all, it's another thing to consider. But like, I don't think it's very harmful. I think it's great that some of the WA players get paid, a little
mm.
bit more because of it.
Yeah. Oh, that's good because, like I said, I've heard about it. Or I think early on we all heard about it, and it was
Mm.
very interesting at the start. But now, hearing it from you and Vlad as well, which is great for the listeners and viewers who are interested
Yeah.
in that side. So thank you so much for speaking your mind about it. But look, yeah, I really like this roster. I think your girls are really really an interesting team, and bringing in Delaney is going to help, as we mentioned, with her first game on the weekend. But quickly as well, I feel like one of the best signings and underrated signings this year was Regan Turner-McCarty. That
Mm.
was definitely a big get for you this year.
Yeah, I mean, look, Regan's in our leadership group, um, as well as her performance on court, and her performance on court has been fantastic. And when I initially spoke to Regan, I had sort of a mixed sample because I had actually paid attention to her prior to coming to WA, so I knew what she was capable of. But she also hadn't, um, and I think she would admit this. I don't think she would mind this, but she hadn't been at her optimum the last couple of years.
Mm,
So having a good talk with her and talking about what sort of player she could be and how we wanted to play, and then obviously, like, I sort of talked to a few people that had been around her, and everyone from a character and personality point of view just gives her an A plus, and that's proven to be true. She's amazing with the girls, and um, I've heard people sort of say to her, "Oh, you're playing so much better this year," and for me, it's no. She's actually playing like playing like herself again, if that
mm,
makes sense.
mm,
We haven't done anything magic. She's just playing like herself, and yeah, she's been an amazing pickup. And I wasn't initially sure, what position she'd play. I know she sort of played more of the four at Cougars, but she plays the three for us, and I've just been so impressed with both ends of the floor. And it's not just like her shooting is the thing that just jumps off the page, but she's so versatile defensively. She can secondary ball handle, she can pass out of pick and roll. So there's so much there that she's got and gradually unlocking. So yeah, it's you probably, like, along with sort of Roscoe popping up, there's sort of been two real blessings to our off season for sure.
yeah, definitely
Yeah.
great signings, and yeah, I really like
Mm.
that Regan signing as well. As you
Yep.
mentioned,
Yep.
as well at Coburn, there were so many stars, so many players around her, so it did stop maybe some of the minutes she'd be getting and some of the shots she could put up. But yeah, definitely looking great with your girls. So we'll go to round 7 in the NBL One West. Friday, May 8th. Your girls took on the Prairie Lakes Hawks, especially an old side,
Yeah, we did. We did.
76-60. And not being rude here, but it would be nice to get a win. Well, it would have been nice to get the win against your old club.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice, and I'd be lying if there's not, 1 or 2% more of a little
Mm,
bit of feeling to it. It's there's no, I've already said a couple of times, there's no acrimony with the club. There's no
yeah.
angle like that, or there's no point to prove. Probably more than anything, Mark Matheson, who was my assistant for many years, is
Mm,
the assistant at Hawks, so it's just probably nice to have some bragging rights on him. But yeah, I think Marcus Embry is doing a good job, really good job with that team, and
mm,
putting a new game style and bringing some young players through and sort of building a program. So the proof will be in the pudding for them over a big period of time. And I think they still got McKenna Marisa to come, who was a really effective NBL player, so she'll make a big difference for them. So we caught them at a good time. So
mm,
yeah, happy to get the win. The first half of the season is always a bit of a jumble with player availability, but yeah, went well.
mm. Yeah, 76
Yeah.
60 win for your girls. Sam Lubke top scored for your Lightning, 24 points, 10 rebounds. Delaney Crawford, as we mentioned, first game for her, 19.6 rebounds. Sammy Roscoe with a double-double, 11 points, 10 rebounds. Esmeralda Morales with the 7 points, 3 rebounds, but 9 assists for her. And looking at Delaney, I guess, first game, she's never played. I don't think. Well, yeah, she's never played in Perth in the league. And first game, what do you think about her game, and what do you think she's going to provide for your girls, later in the season?
Yeah, I mean, just quickly before we jump to
Mm.
Delaney, I mean, Loki was a really big standout for us,
Yeah.
obviously, with the 24 and 10. And she's one of the people that was in the program last year and recommitted, even with the change and the changing coach and that. So
Mm.
that's worked out really well. And I don't want to sort of undersell that. Like, she can shoot the ball, but she also
Yeah.
can get on the rim and play with a bit of force. And that's been important for us. So she'll have had a big night, and she's had a couple of really good games for us this season and is fitting in really well. And look, Delaney's great. Like, she can score with the ball and without the ball. If you give her the ball and you need her to use the ball and play a bit of one on one, she can do that. But she can cut off curls and cut off flares and like fits our system really well. And so I think like that's that game Friday night was just the tip of the iceberg.
Mm.
And she went from Finland to Oklahoma, from Oklahoma to LA to Brisbane to Perth, and then had like 3 days and played, and that's what we got. So,
Mm.
we're excited to see how she goes, and that was one of the things when I recruited her. I actually put in some game film, and immediately what jumped out as me is she had a great college career, but there was a lot of the movement and the way her college team played that were reasonably consistent with us. So I sort of had the feeling that if she enjoyed that and wanted to do more of that, she'd come in and fit in really well. And that's what it looks like it's going to be.
Yeah, big game for her. And as
Yeah.
you mentioned, yeah, Sam Lubke, former East Perth Eagle,
Yep.
and she won a championship with the Tigers as well. And she's
Yes.
had problems
Yep.
with concussions and head injuries. So it's great to see her, back into great form as well with that big double double. But yeah, Perry Lakes for them, Mia Bailey, 14 points, 3 rebounds. Bridget Redstadt, 8 points, 9 rebounds. And Mila Waskowicz with 7 points, 4 rebounds also. And then we'll move on to the next game. Warwick Senators, against the Willetton Tigers, 106-59. Very surprising in this one. A big win for the Senators, I guess. Chloe Forster was huge in this one. 35 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. Jada Clark, 13 points, 5 rebounds. Mackenzie Clinch-Hoycard, 12 and 12 for her, and for Willetton, Ruby Porter, 15 and 2 for her. Emma Gandini, 11 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. And Remy Hearn as well with 10 points and 4 assists. I know there's a few players missing a little bit for this Tigers team. Still waiting for some players to come in, but yeah, I was very surprised at this big win from the Senators, Craig.
It is, but look, I think Alex Fowler missing makes a dramatic difference for Tigers, and I've heard rumours of one more players, but I'm not plugged in there at all. So I don't know, but like I watched Senators play in person a couple of weeks ago, and I was so impressed with them. Like, just that they got a lot of speed and force with Forster and Jada Clark on the perimeter, and then they've got some real shooting in Hoycard, some talented young players. Nat Burton is effective inside, and Kiara Wake can sort of play both. So I would not be sleeping on Senators. The size of the margin, sure, but I think Senators are the real deal.
Yeah, definitely. And then also next game, the Coburn Cougars are getting a win against the Mandurah Magic, 91-67. Jade Gallen with the double-double, 17 and 10 for her. Claire Jacobs, 17 and 4. Michaela Pivic, she's had a really great start to her season. 17 points, 15 rebounds. And then also for Coburn, it was Alex Chibatoni, 17 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 5 steals. Sierra Walker as well with 15 and 6. And Danny Rabo with 13.6 rebounds. And speaking with Coburn, they are undefeated still. Do you think they could go through this season undefeated? I feel like this year they're going to have to dig even deeper, because I feel like the competition has just grown and the talent has got better.
Yeah, I mean, I think we also buried the lead there, right? Darcy Garvin played in that game,
Correct, yeah.
former Opal, and
Mm,
first came back after having a child, and had some good numbers off the bench. So congrats to Darcy, and
yeah.
she adds a dynamic with them. Look, I mean, I think for Coburn, they're going to be right up there, and if that means undefeated or not, I don't know. Like I read the 29 in a row, and it was only 2 weeks ago we were 7 up with 5 minutes to go, and let that one go. So, like there's so much variance in basketball these days with shooting and that
Mm,
that it's amazing the streaks as long as it is, but they'll be right up there, and they're also going to be like a bit of a moving target in the sense that the game when they sort of ran over the top of us in the fourth, Chiba really took hold of the game in
mm,
that one, and I think she's gone from now on. But now they have the three talls in Raber and Garvin and Edwards. So look, they're going to be a handful. Walker's a really good player and a good shooter, and they've obviously got a strong program and coached well. So whether they go undefeated, I don't know, but even just to get to 29 is a really big achievement.
mm. And then also on Saturday, Mandurah Magic getting the win against the Slammers, 95-80, and for the Slammers, I feel they keep getting better. They got some good imports as well this year, and really improving. Cassidy Lacey Ramika, with a big game for her, 27 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. Marshawn Bostic, 21 and 6, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, my bad. And Bri Bailey as well, 12 and 6. And Marshawn Bostic has been playing really good. And then also Lacey Ramika as well. Bri Bailey adding some big points as well. We saw Bree Chalk go off a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And Courtney Bayless, I think, this was her first game back as
Came
well.
back. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Yep.
they always have, even the men, they always have these players that they just that are in town and former players, and they pick them back up and get them to play. So that's great having someone like Courtney back in. But there's some really good signs for the Slammers this year, I think, Craig.
Yeah, I think they've been really competitive, and I think that the league is particularly even. Like it's almost got a bit more of an AFL style
Mm.
feel to it this year. Like I honestly used to feel like 10 years ago I could predict 9 out of 10 games whether we were going to win or lose.
Uh huh.
But now I feel like week to week you don't know so much, and there's obviously some teams that got away better than others in the first part of the season, but it's super competitive. And I haven't watched a ton of Slammers because we don't
Yeah.
see them until very late in the piece, but certainly like they knocked off Giants early. They've had a good they've had a good couple of wins, and I think they'll be really competitive. So it's going to be. It's just it's one of those years where you can't look at the schedule and be like, oh, we've had a rough couple of weeks, but we got this, and this coming. Everyone's going to have to compete on their merit, and it's a good league.
Definitely.
Yep.
And Mandurah Jade Gowland again, 21 points, 8 rebounds. Michaela Pivic, a near triple double, 19 points, 17 rebounds, 9 assists. I really like Michaela. I spoke to her.
Yeah, she's a gun.
Spoke to her on the show.
Yeah.
She's an amazing person as well. I
Yeah.
don't know if you've seen much of her. I know she's played in the NBL One East, but what a great start she's had. 19 points a game, 14 rebounds, and 8 assists.
Yeah, I mean, she was a gun. I think she played in the South Conference, but on the East Coast.
Mm.
She was a gun, and like she's good size and good presence and not easily sped up, and can score and pass, can score at a few different levels and sort of pass out of pick and roll. So look, I think Mandurah with a full team and everyone healthy at the end of the year, um, Antosh, Mia
Yeah.
Jacobs, the Jacobs sisters, I think there'll be another team that are really competitive at the end as well. And Jade Gowland's having a really strong season.
Mm.
And it's pleasing to see. I coached Jade. My wife actually coached her at under 16 Wobble many years ago, so I've known
Yeah.
the family for quite a while, and it's great to see a WA kid doing well.
Definitely. And then we'll move on to Goldfields Giants getting the win against the Redbacks, 102-96 win for the Redbacks. Sierra Moore, what a great season she's been having. 36 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists for her. And base compression player of the week with that 36 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists. Huge game for Sierra, and congratulations to her. Another one for this season. Delaney Byrne as well, 24 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. and then Yam as well, 18.6 rebounds, and even like Rachel Pettit as well, 9 points. Very, very interesting team, and they can really do some damage as well. I saw them a couple of weeks ago against Perry Lakes on a Sunday, and they were moving the ball really well, hitting some big shots. They look really, really good actually, Craig.
Yeah, I rate the Giants. I mean, Moore is and a handful on the rim and can move, attack with the ball at speed and that kind of stuff. And when she's hitting threes as well, she's a real handful. And Byrne, I think, like for how she plays and how she can shoot the ball, has really good size and is a really interesting player as well. And they've got some proficient guards. So, like, I actually watched that because we play Redbacks this Friday. So I had a good look at that. And look, to be honest, you got to give Redbacks their flowers as well. Like that's not an easy trip to Cal, and they're so short-handed, and to push that to overtime and like they competed, really threw everything at it and really competed. And I really tip my hat to them because, I've done that trip plenty of times. So like, you know, um, Redbacks should get a lot of credit for how they hung around and I thought Ashby and Hartree were really good in that game too. So I mean that's another example, right? You look at Redbacks and with a little bit of player availability and a really difficult trip, and then there turns out to be an ultra competitive overtime game against a Giants team that are top four at the moment. So that sort of says something about the league.
And it's great to see a Giants team top four. They have struggled
Yeah,
in a few years, but how long have they been around, Craig? This is their fifth season, I think, about. Or
this season, yeah, yep,
yeah, so
yeah,
very young team, and great to see how they're doing this year. And then the Redbacks as well. Yeah, Sam
yep.
Ashby, someone you've coached at Perry Lakes. I think she's
Yes,
had a
for
few
sure. Yeah,
games.
yep, yep.
Yeah,
Great
for
value,
years.
Sam.
Yeah, 34
Yep,
points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. And Shanae Hartree, 21 points, 8 rebounds. Sophie Doran as well, 15 points, 5 rebounds, and
yep,
9 assists. So,
yep,
like you said,
yep.
very undermanned. And it's tough, I guess, no Annalie Maley, as she was released from her contract, but then has been picked up as well again. So it's tough for the Perth Redbacks. But
Yes, yep, yep.
from a coach's point of view, Craig, like you would definitely be happy for Annalie. But you would also be a bit sad in the way that she's not going to be there for your roster, you would say.
Well, I'm not sad she's not going to be there for our game, but
Yeah.
I did see her get waved. I thought, waved just in time for us, and then I saw her get picked up. I mean, look, I went through it last year with Alex Fowler. Like,
Yeah.
we got Alex Fowler finished. They lost the women's NBL grand final that year, but flew in, came to training, was sitting outside film for our first training, gets a phone call, and then comes into film and is like, I'm heading off to Opal's camp tomorrow. And, and then it was 3X. And you just like, you want to support them. Well, you do support them in their opportunities and you're so happy for them. But yeah, it's a really challenging situation to deal with. And you sort of have to, I don't know how you do the math on that, part of the reason I recruited Alex that from over east that year is she wasn't in any of that stuff. You don't begrudge it, but it also meant, okay, availability will be pretty good. And then it turned out she was in both. And, you kind of know that with Annalise, she's going to be on the 3X and, whether it's going to be women's NBA or Opal's camps and that, and she's an amazing talent. So, but I think it's still worthwhile having them around the club and around the league and they add a lot of value. So, but yes, I think probably for Redbacks now, if Annalise signed for the season, I don't know what the Toronto situation is. It gives them clarity, and they can then now decide. Are we bringing someone else in? Are we, growing for a year, or what are we? What are we trying to do? I imagine for them the hardest thing would have probably been, you're going away, you're trying out, are you in, are you waived, are you coming back? I think that would be most challenging in terms of sorting out your roster and your lineup and figuring out what you're going to do.
Well, big win for the Giants, and like you said, props to Redbacks. Always a tough journey to head to the the Goldfields. My bad, and
It's
competing
a long
against
bus
them.
trip.
Yeah, that'd be a nice trip though, going to the Gold Coast.
Yeah, yeah,
And then the Rockingham Flames, 103 to 58 win for the Joondalup Wolves. And Joondalup, they've had some good games, and then they've had some
yep,
really, really poor games,
yeah. Look,
including.
I don't know what to make of Wolves. I've watched them in person 3 times, twice against
Mm,
us, and I went to their Senators game, and all 3 times I've been so impressed. And
yeah,
they obviously beat the snot out of us a couple of weeks ago, and they've won a game since. So honestly, like I just feel like I'm not exactly sure what the trigger is.
hmm
Whether they just match up really well with us, but then they played their asses off against Senators, and it took Senators a long time to get on top of that game. So,
yeah,
Johnson's dynamic with the ball and a talent. Pierre Louis is
mm,
really handful with the ball and can handle the ball and do a lot of things for the 4 spots. So they've obviously been up and down with form, but I've seen them 3 times and seen them look really good in person. So I honestly couldn't tell you what the trigger is there and what's going on there. But Flames are going to be really strong, and they didn't even have Atwell for that game from
yeah,
memory. No Atwell, so
correct, yeah.
um, the import is it Duckett,
It's Sarah Puckett.
Puckett, Puckett.
Yeah.
She was in Finland and
Mm.
had a really strong season there. So she's going to be a very strong player in our league.
Yeah, and she's definitely
Yep,
shown as well. But
yep.
Craig, 42 points in the second quarter for the Wolves. That's something you cannot allow in this
42
league.
points in the second quarter.
Yeah, 42 in the second quarter for
Oh,
the
Flames got 42 in the
Flames.
second. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
too many. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
And look, there's always a bit of shooting variance.
Mm,
I'd love to see the distribution of shots. I might have a browse of that
yeah,
later. But yeah, I mean, you're not going to win. You're not going to win games conceding 40 points in a quarter. So even with a bit of variance, you should be able to sort of um, you know. I don't really know what the number is these days. We used to talk, 20 points a quarter or 15
yeah,
points a quarter. When I started coaching SPL, 65 points would win you a lot of games. Now you got teams scoring 42 and a quarter. So,
yeah.
um, but yeah, it's too many, and you've got to be able to control quality of shot or pace or something, to restrict the
Mm.
flow a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
103-58 and the win for the Flames. Sarah Puckett, 30.7 rebounds. Great start for her
Mm.
season. Tej Morel, 20 points, 15 rebounds. And then Shani Amos as well, 13 points, 5 rebounds. Steph Berberabe with 12. Like you said, without Amy Atwell also. And then AJ Johnson as well, 18 points for her. Awatia Leach, 9 points, 5 rebounds. And Kim Pierre-Louis with 8 points. So hopefully the Wolves can get it back together. They lost Georgia Smith as well. So that's a tough loss off the bench also. But we'll move to the East Perth Eagles with a win over the Eastern Suns. And in this one, it was Gabby Bronson with 14 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. I do like her. I've seen some.
Yeah, it's
I've
good.
only seen. Yeah, I saw them in person. Your game actually, Lakeside.
Yep.
And she didn't really blow up or anything, but she's had some good games.
No, I really like her. Like, she plays the right way. Good decision maker. Like, good ball user. Can put the ball in the hole when needed to.
Mm,
Not super dynamic. Not going to score 40, but like winning type basketball player. And I think for them, like, they got some young kids and some people that have been there a few years, and
mm-hmm.
they work hard. They work really hard, and I think she's the right kind of personality to add some leadership and experience to that group. And I think she's had a real impact for them.
I think in the past they've had some imports who were maybe younger imports, not always the most seasoned imports. But if they can get someone like they've got Gabby as well, who
Mm.
can help lead, and she's doing a great job with that young
Yeah,
core. And then also
yeah,
their new import as well, Trista Hull, also played her first game, just 7 points, 9 rebounds, but some good signs for her in her first game. And then for the East Perth Eagles, Sarah Mortensen, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. Sydney Wright with 15 points, 2 rebounds and 6 assists. Jade Williams with 13 points, 5 rebounds. Brooke Malone with a double-double, 13 and 12. And Stacey Barr with 11 points, 12 rebounds. Josephine Odude off the bench, 8 points, 10 rebounds. One of the hottest teams in the league, Craig. And
Pretty
what was
good.
your and they lost Philpo. Sorry, not Phil. That's same Philpo.
Fijo?
They lost Fijo as well. But imagine having her in this roster. But early on in the season, when you saw this team getting put together by Janelle, what did you think about this East Perth side?
Probably my thoughts weren't too dissimilar to everybody else.
Yeah.
Janelle's proven to be really good, manager of teams in our league and gets girls playing together and playing hard. And Stacey's got a long history of, you know, helping teams win. And I knew Jasmine Fijo reasonably well. I've watched her at state teams, and I knew she'd be dynamic. It's really sad her injury, and then obviously Mortensen is just she can be so effective. She kind of reminds me of like a forward version of Clay Thompson in our league. Like last year, she scored 30 points on us, and she took 2 dribbles the entire game. She moves so well. She can shoot the ball so well, and like that's the perfect fit alongside someone of Stacey's gravity. So look, I think they're really balanced, and I think they're going to be really tough. And there's probably 3 or 4 inner circle contenders, however you want to call it, at this point in time, and they're one of them for sure.
Yeah. Well, we may as well go to round 8 as well. We'll get your tips if you want to join in with me, like we have in the past, and we've had some great fun on the show in the past.
I will, Jakey, but I'll zoom through because I got to cut some film.
Yeah, no, that's fine. No worries. We'll go through that. You're a very busy man as well, Craig. And I do appreciate all your time whenever you do come on
No
the show. It's
problems.
great to talk to you. But yeah, first off, we'll go to the Coburn Cougars and the East Perth Eagles. This is going to be a clash. This is going to be first and second, 6:20 p.m. at Wally Hagan Stadium. I really don't know who to pick, but I think I'm just going to go for the undefeated team. But I wouldn't be surprised if Eagles end their streak.
Yeah, I'll pick Cougars at home, but I will think it'll be an adjustment for Cougars without Chibber. First game without Chibber.
Yeah.
But it's a clash of 2 totally different styles. And I think the Raber, Garvin, Edwards front line will be interesting to see how Eagles handle that and how the contrast matches up on both ends of the floor.
Yeah. So yeah, both of us with the Cougars, Wally Hagan Stadium, and then the Perth Redbacks taking on your Lakeside Lightning women. This is going to be a really, really interesting one. Belmont Oasis and Leisure Centre, and I think your girls can get it done. I think with this Perth Redbacks team being, not with their full squad, I guess it's just really trying to stop Sam Ashby as well, and trying to stop her from scoring as she has in the past few weeks. Shanae Hartree as well with her usage, I guess. But yeah, what do you think you've got to do this week to get the win against Tim Rengelik and his Redbacks?
Yeah, I mean, Sam Ashby's obviously a dynamic scorer and has had 30 a couple of times already this season, so we'll have to get on top of that. And a big part of knowing what we've got to do this weekend is me going to look at that film I said I'm about to go look at. But I think probably get a little bit of pressure on them, I think. And just we're more focused on ourselves. I think one of the learnings from our Suns Wolves fortnight was I got a little elaborate with preparing game plans and that, and we're sort of more in a phase where we're just focused on ourselves. So we've got our measurables and the style we're trying to play, and that'll be our focus for this weekend.
Yeah, so that's 6:20 as well. Beaumont Oasis, Leisure Centre, Redbacks and Lakeside. And then also the Perry Lakes Hawks taking on the Warwick Senators. I like Perry Lakes. I've seen them a few times this season. I really like their team. But I don't think they'll have enough this week at home at Bendat against Warwick. Warwick are tremendous when they're rolling.
Yeah, look, I think McKenna, Marisa will come in and play this weekend and make a big difference. But on form, you'd have to tip Senators.
Yeah. And then also on Saturday, 5 p.m, as we had all of our Friday games. So yeah, Saturday, May 16th. Warwick again, they've got a doubleheader and a very tough doubleheader against Coburn at Warwick Stadium. This could go either way as well. This is a very, and also a tough weekend for Coburn, really. But depending how they do on Friday night, I might go with Coburn, even though I really like this Warwick side. But this is also a flip of the coin as well, Craig. I don't know what you think.
I might tip I might just tip Senators for a bit of a smoky, and it's their home
Yeah.
game. And if Eagles can really push Cougars the night before, you'll see if fatigue plays a role as well late in that game. So I'll give Senators a little. I'll make a little tip there.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
also the Joondalup Wolves taking on the Goldfields Giants at Arena Joondalup. Tough place to play, as you would know, coaching there many years. Coaching against the Wolves and being there as a visitor at Arena Joondalup. I feel like if we get a Joondalup Wolves that we've seen lately in the past couple of weeks, I think Goldfields should be able to get it done behind Sierra Moore and Delaney Byrne as well, and their girls they have. But if you never know, we might see a Joondalup that we both are impressed with. We just don't know who's going to turn up. So I'm going to go with Giants just off their recent game and how Joondalup have been. But this is going to be a really good matchup as well, Craig.
I think I just blatantly refuse to tip anything that involves Wolves at the moment. I've got no idea. I'm just going to... I don't gamble on any basketball. I've done my integrity training. But I'm just staying. This is a stay away for me, Jake. This one.
That's a stay away. Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
Got, as I said, I got the Goldfields 5 p.m. at Arena Joondalup, and then also Willetton Tigers at 5 p.m. taking on the Rockingham Flames. I can't go against the Flames. They've been really hot, and that's not to be not a pun, but they actually have. They're on they're on course for this season, and I guess they'd be very happy with how they've been playing. And I don't know if you know anything, but maybe Amy Atwell. Hopefully she's in, but I think even with Amy, they'd have a win against Tigers away.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you had any intel on Atwell and Fowler.
No,
you don't.
No.
Yeah, I think you just tip Flames on form, but if Fowler's playing, I think that dynamic of that game changes totally. That becomes a very competitive game. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll see about that. I have been trying to find out when she's back, but a lot of people didn't know maybe last week due to her in New York and everything. But we'd love to get her back as well. And then also on Saturday, the Mandurah Magic taking on the Eastern Suns. Mandurah have gone down a couple of their last games, but they're an up and down team. But I think they'll be too strong to for the Suns at Rayo and Sports Centre on Saturday.
Yeah, I think that's probably a fair tip. I think it'll be Suns play their asses off and play hard, and it'll probably be I imagine it'll be a pretty competitive game for the majority of it. But I would expect Mandurah to pull away. Yeah.
Yeah, and then a tough one, Craig. I guess you would have coached a lot of these games on Sunday, 11 a.m. Rockingham Flames taking on the Goldfields Giants. I don't know how the Goldfields girls do it and the guys. Those double headers, especially on a Sunday morning early. But Rocco and Giants. I've got Rocco, but I'm excited. I really like this Giants team, especially being fourth as well. They had some really good games. I think Rocco with a win in this one, but I think it'll be really close actually.
Yeah, I think Rocco will win it, and both teams obviously have the same schedule. I think the Giants teams fly, is my understanding, the last year or so. So that probably helps manage this. And the other side of it, I always found, like even the small amount I played, like when you'd play Giants or Giants or Bucks on a Sunday, and you're used to playing for a Metro team, like it just felt so weird. Where I think they get a bit more used to doing it every weekend or every second weekend. So, but yeah, I mean, people those country players that do that for their career, I've got huge respect for. But yeah, look, I think I probably agree with you with how the game will play out.
Yeah, that's going to be a really good one. But that's all the games for round 8 coming up this weekend. Download the NBL One app and you can check out all the news, the games, videos, standings, stats, everything. Download that. And Craig, I better let you go because you've got a lot to do for this week, and it's going to be a big clash. And just want to wish you the best of luck for that one and for the season. The girls are looking good. Get on to film, and thank you again for your time. It's always great to chat with you.
No worries. Thanks, mate. Appreciate having me on when no one else will answer your calls, being the backup. I'm always happy to do you a favour.
I apologise, Craig.
I remember the days when I used to go to the studio and get a beverage of some description.
We did. Yes, you are right, and that's what I was talking about, the fun moments we had. But yeah, thank you so much, Craig. It's always great to talk to you,
All
and
right.
yeah, good luck again for this week.
All right. Thanks, mate. Cheers,
No
Jake.
worries.
See you,
And
buddy.
no worries. And for the listeners, don't go anywhere. We're going to come back and we're going to speak men's NBL One West straight after this. Let's talk about men's division now in the NBL One West. And you've got a very special guest joining me, and I'm just trying to tee it up with him every week. We've both been so busy, but joining me is Danny Pippen from the Goldfields Giants. And Danny, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, man.
No worries. And Danny, it's someone who I was really excited to actually see in person play. And, since you're signing, I do a little bit of research on all the imports, all the new players. And you were very, I was very interested to see you play. You're a big guy, you're physical. You love like back to basket stuff. Very physical guy. And I think you're very exciting when you play. And I was actually watching you at Perry Lakes a couple of weeks ago, and a very vocal guy, love to talk and get around your guys. And even, when they need a bit of a kick up the arse in a way, that's what I would say, you're there to provide that as well. But Danny, I guess coming from Detroit, Michigan, we got a few guys from Detroit, like CJ Turnage, who's playing for the Joondalup Wolves, and also Sharif Black with the Joondalup Wolves. They're both from Detroit as well. I didn't know if you knew that, but there's some guys from where you're from. But you've come all the way to Kalgoorlie, which is a mining town, a very small town. But I guess with these small towns, they really do get around the local basketball team, same as Geraldton and the Slammers. They really do get around their team. But let's talk about it. How are you loving, Kalgoorlie and Australia at the moment?
I mean, I haven't really had much time to kind of like venture out and learn more about Australia, but Kalgoorlie, I like the town and I like the community. I mean, as I spoke on before, it's like only thing is here is basketball.
Yeah,
So
correct.
it's no distractions, especially if you're somebody like me. I'm not really into going out or nothing like that. So I came here for basketball, and that's what I throw everything into, which is basketball. And then you got a loving and supporting community, so they all be behind the basketball and the sports and stuff like that. So that just make it
Mm.
even more fun and interesting.
Mm. Did you know much about Australia before you came here? I like to talk to the Americans about Australia. A lot of people say the insects and the snakes and everything like
I
that,
was
but
just about to say that. The only thing
yeah.
I really knew of was spiders and snakes.
Mm.
But then when you get here,
No.
see that much spiders and snakes like that for real, for real.
No. Maybe where you are, you might get, some different type of snakes maybe that we'd get here close to the city. If you're definitely here, like, you don't see them every day.
Yeah, they
If
got some snakes here, but not no crazy ones. They got a lot of kangaroos here too.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of wildlife where you guys are, and especially around Perth in general, there are a lot of wildlife. But yeah, I feel like Americans and even a lot of people around the world, they say, oh, there's all these snakes and spiders everywhere walking around. But nah, you rarely will see them. But might be more common where you are. But look, what are you loving about playing for the Giants? I guess a team, they just got a new stadium as well. This is your first season with them, but last season they got their new stadium. A very young team, I guess. You got some young guys on this side and some new imports as well, including you and even Sam Vincent as well. Jerome Reed's been there a long time. He's part of the furniture, really. Nick Lawrence as well. Gary Sidebottom. Michael Jock as well. We love Michael. And then Lino Manholm as well, who's come in this year. A big 7-foot guy. But what do you love about playing for the Goldfields Giants so far?
I mean, the biggest thing I say is the team. I mean, as you touched on some of them, you got Gary, you got Nick, you got Mike, you got Sam, you got Jerome, you got the other Sam Morrow.
Yeah,
Once he's a
Sam.
local. You got the young guys. I mean, it's a very supportive group. You know what I'm saying? You got different cultures, different blends of people. But I feel like we all been coming together as one, and we all been accepting each other and bringing each other into the fold. And it's kind of nice to see. I will say, like, playing in New Zealand and playing in Australia, these has been the two best groups I've been a part of within team camaraderie and bringing the team together and understanding each other on a deeper level than just basketball. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
it's You play basketball, but it's more that go into basketball than just basketball. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And then you got the coaches, which is obviously a big part of why you even come where you go. I established a great relationship with the coaches. And coaches, you got great people. You got the owners. You got the board. It's just a lot of great people around. And then the community. The community is really behind the sports teams.
Mm.
The basketball, they really be pushing for us. They really be supporting us. So it's just a number of things that I love about Kalgoorlie. But of all, I probably say the support and the dynamic.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, definitely they do get around you guys. I've been to a couple Giants games in the past, and a good crowd. You guys get and a lot of fans. Being the small kind of town teams. But this season, 22 points a game, 3 assists and 7 rebounds. On court, how do you feel you're doing so far to start this season?
Mhm. I feel like I can be doing more. I can be doing better.
Hmm.
I mean, my stats is what they is. They not bad at all. But at the end of the day, I still can find ways to improve and help the team out more. You know what I mean? It's always room for improvement.
Yeah, definitely. Um, Yeah, well, as well, with you, as you mentioned, you have played in New Zealand, you've played around the world as well. And was Australia somewhere you were always interested in playing? I guess, it is. We're known as well, maybe for our basketball. But yeah, as I said, you played in Finland, Greece, Lebanon, New Zealand, Taiwan, also in the US, being in the G League, which we can talk about. But yeah, I guess, yeah, what do you love about playing in Australia to maybe some of the European countries? I guess we do speak English as well.
I mean, that's first of all, that's a big one, the fluent English, and just two, the dynamic and the acceptance and the treatment. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Mm,
not really a Europe guy because I didn't really like my time in Europe, and I don't like the way they treat you there. They don't
mhm.
understand, like, even if you're a basketball player, at the end of the day, you're still a human being.
Yeah,
You know what I
correct.
mean? And with basketball, man, you're gonna always have a Jordan game every game, but you're gonna still feel the acceptance and the love. At the end of the day, we know it's a business, but some people forget that even businessmen have feelings too. You know?
Yeah, that
Nah,
is
like
correct. Yeah.
Australia though. Australia, they really bring you in. They treat you like their own. I ain't saying everything is perfect and sunshine and roses, but it's completely opposite of Europe. And they don't tear
Mm,
your body down. You know what I'm saying? They don't tear your body down. Europe, they tear your body down, man. They look at you
mm,
like an instrument or an object.
mhm. Yeah, I've heard a lot of bad stories about Europe, especially, and how they treat some of the players, because they see everyone as, I guess, replaceable. They could replace you in in 10 seconds, I guess, and that's how it is. We are a lot different, especially when it comes to that. So you're definitely correct about that. Was there a favorite country so far that maybe you've played it?
My favorite country I played in so far, if I
Mhm.
had to say, man, it'd probably be Taiwan.
Real?
Yeah,
Okay.
Taiwan was lit. I ain't gonna lie.
Hmm.
Taiwan, I love Taiwan.
Yeah. Was it maybe like a food thing, or maybe just a culture, or?
Man, the whole experience from the stadium to the
Okay.
support to the people, Taiwan was nice, man. Taiwan really opened my eyes in the sense of where basketball can take you, and I didn't experience a lot of beautiful things because of basketball, but Taiwan really opened my eyes to a different level. You know what I'm saying? So I
Mm.
would probably say Taiwan for sure. And then
Yeah.
under Taiwan, I'd probably give it to Australia.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, that's great. That's really cool. Taiwan being the first. Yeah, love it. I've never been there, but yeah, definitely somewhere you'd love to travel. But let's talk about, I guess, when you're a bit younger, growing up in Detroit. How is it to grow up, and also like when did you kind of get into basketball? Was it a late kind of thing or early on? But yeah, talk about growing up in Detroit first.
I mean, growing up in Detroit, I grew up on Dexter and Collinwood,
Hmm.
with all my family on my mom's side. I mean, it was just like growing up anywhere. I would say you got your good times, you got your hard times, but you a family, so you figure it out. You know what I mean? As far
Mm-hmm.
as basketball, I wouldn't say I got into basketball late, but I wouldn't say I got into it early as most either. I kind of first got into basketball when I signed up to go to the Boys and Girls Club, and I had this dude named Alante Sims. I walked in the gym. He was like, "Man, you too tall not to play basketball." And
Mm-hmm.
he threw me the ball. He told me shoot a free throw. I shot the free throw and I airballed. And then from
Mm-hmm.
that day on, he just kept making me, like, kept putting the basketball to me and making me play basketball. And I wasn't messing with it at first. And then
Mm-hmm.
I found the passion for it. And then I started telling my mom I wanted to play basketball. Then I started doing basketball workouts and drills and stuff with my uncle when I showed him I was serious about it. And then it just kind of kept elevating from there.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, as you went to Kent State as well. I spoke to you before about it, and a really nice reasoning for you to go to Kent State was your dad, who is incarcerated, and you were going to be a lot closer to him. So when you had someone like Kent State or a college like Kent State come to you, and you knew he was a bit closer, how did that feel in your collegiate process? It's actually nice that you were able to be close to him as well.
Yeah, I mean, that was amazing. When it come to all the schools that I could have went to or any school that I was thinking about,
Mm,
I didn't really care about no school besides Kent State because of where it was located and where my dad was. And I didn't get to
mm,
see my dad that much when he was incarcerated while I was going through school. So
mm,
when I got to college, I looked at it as a win-win. You can go to college and see my dad. And I just broke it down on my coach. So simple. Coach Rob Sindroff told him if he took me to see my dad, then I'll sign. You feel me? And he helped me navigate that out. And the rest was history. That's why I got all
mm,
the love and respect for that man. You feel me?
mm. And I guess is being someone who has their father in incarceration in prison. How was that for you in that process and that journey being for you?
I mean, early on it was hard. I mean, as it
Mm,
would be for anybody, you feel me? Any
yeah,
young man when your father is locked up. But I mean, you get accustomed to it and then it don't stop you from building a relationship. So we built a relationship and we tight. Me and my dad tight as hell. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So I mean, you used to have your days or your moments where you don't want your father to be there and witness certain achievements. You know what I'm saying? The accolades
yeah.
that you receive. But then at the end of the day, you gotta understand, man. Certain stuff you gotta take to the chin. That's becoming being a man as you get older. And I go see my dad all the time, talk to him all the time, and everything. You know what I'm saying? So it don't stop nothing. And then he'll be out in 2 years now anyway. So
Wow. Yeah. And as well, I did see on your story following you on Instagram, as I do a lot of the players. I think he does a video call you if I'm correct.
yeah, you can video. We can videogram off his prison. They got these tablets, and you can pay for
Cool.
videograms. And I just had one with him a couple days ago.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. And I really appreciate you, sharing that as well. Sometimes it's hard for people to share it, and because for me, like with the show, I'm not all. I know you're a player and you're a basketball player, but that's not how I like to treat the people that come on the show, or even when I'm speaking to guys. You're a person. You're not just a basketball player. I know we
Yeah,
spoke about basketball, but I appreciate you, talking about that with me as well.
no problem. I appreciate you for asking and being respectful about it first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no worries. But your time at Kent State was pretty successful, but then you also had some tough injuries. You tore like a meniscus as well. I think you had some fractures in your knees as well. And I guess I feel like knees are all injuries are worse, but knees are really hard to get back from. Talk about. I know it's all negative. I'm trying not to go with all the negative stuff, but
No, you good.
yeah, I feel like that's helps you who you are right now. So, yeah, how was that? I guess going through. I think it was your freshman year you struggled through those knee injuries.
It was tough. It was every year after my freshman year I got hurt.
My bad. Yep, yep,
No,
yep.
no, you good. It was tough. I mean, it took a toll on the mental, but at the same time, it helped me because it made me stronger. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like one time I had to sit out over a season, So like it went through a lot. I had microfracture, I had torn meniscus, I had cartilage damage,
yeah,
just the different things that I had to experience and go through. Trials and tribulations are part of being a basketball player, and a lot of them I could have controlled, but some of them I couldn't. Sometimes basketball just take its course. But at the end
yeah,
of the day, the training facility at Kent State, man, immaculate, man. Great
yeah.
people. Trent, it's my dog. You feel me? He helped me be where I'm at today. Without them, I
Mm,
wouldn't have been able to shake back as I was. And it's so crazy because every time I got hurt, the following season I had a better season. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And one season I played with a torn meniscus and I got tired of sitting
Wow.
out. So yeah, like
Wow. And also, you scored 1,000 or over 1,000 points in your career. And that was also against Bowling Green. You had a huge win against them. In your last year, averaging 19 points, 8 rebounds a game. And you had, I think it was 9 double doubles that season. And then also, you were also first team All MAC as well. So you had, I guess, a great collegiate career. And looking back at it, it must have been a great learning curve and a great journey for you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I had a lot of highs, but I had some low lows. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
A learning journey. That's what I say. It was definitely a learning journey, but I definitely appreciate the journey and the people along the way, because a lot of the people along the way helped shape me for who I am today. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? Like, obviously, my mom was why I am who I am, but I
mm,
had a lot of helpful resources along the way. You know, to
mm,
be able to make it and get where I am now.
mm. Well, today as well, for when we're filming in Australia, is Mother's Day as well. I don't know if there must be a different date for the US, if I'm correct, a different Mother's
No,
Day.
it's Mother's Day today now too, cause it's 5 a.m. back home. So now it's Mother's Day. I just sent my mom a Mother's Day message like 30, 40 minutes ago.
Yeah. Oh, great. And I guess it is. I guess you've been around the world as well. You would have missed birthdays. You would have missed, a lot. But how hard is it to be away from family and especially your mum? On this day.
I mean, it'd be hard sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But
Mm,
right now, I'm not really feeling homesick, if I'm being honest, because I
mm,
just set out for like 2 years. So I'm not really feeling homesick right now, but I do always miss my family, especially my mom.
mm,
You know, that's like my best friend. We talk about everything, but at the same time, we connect all the time. I talk to my
mm,
mom, if not every day, every other day. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? We exchange some type of communication every day or every other
mm.
day. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's literally like my best friend. We talk about everything. My sisters, my dad, and you know what I'm saying? I got a strong relationship with my family.
Mm. And if you're having a bad day, I guess court wise, basketball wise, if you have a bad game or a tough loss, would she be someone you would normally go to?
Absolutely. If I'm having a bad game or if I'm just frustrated in general, yeah, I go to my mom for sure.
Mm, yeah.
But she's not the only
Well,
person. It'd probably be I go to my mom or I go to my girl.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. Shout out to all the mums as well, especially in the NBL One West, and all of the that have raised us as well, and also my mother as well, which I saw her today for Mother's Day. But yeah, it's been a great weekend for basketball, and we'll go through it. But quickly, I also want to speak to you about you also played in the G League as well, which is a huge accomplishment. A lot of people also want to play in the NBA, and I think the G League is up there as well, and a great league. They're really improving, getting some great guys. We have a lot of guys that come to Australia from the G League or vice versa, or even go back to the G League. But you played for the Greensboro Swarm in 2021 and also the Maine Celtics as well. Also, it was, I guess, a little bit of a short stint, but talk about your time in the G League.
Man, if I'm being honest, my time in the G League was motherfucking it was crazy, man. You know, the
Yeah, yeah,
Swarm. I never, you work your heart out to get to a certain place, and then you get to a certain place and you see it ain't cut out to what you thought it was. You know what I'm
yep,
saying? Like, so it kind of just, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but it kind of just made the way I felt about that. It turned it into something different because you can put all the work in, you can do
yep,
everything, but it still don't matter if you ain't who they want to succeed. It really don't matter. You know what I
yep, yep.
mean? Like,
Yeah,
and that's kind of how I feel in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can put all the extra work in, you can do all that stuff. It don't matter, man. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, if you're not one of their focal guys, it don't matter what you're doing. If you're not in the right situation, it's damn near pointless in a sense. But I did get more of an opportunity when I went with the Celtics,
yeah.
and I played in the showcase and stuff like that. But then I chose to go overseas.
Mm, okay, yeah, because it would have been a tough time, As you said, the Swarm had you for a game and then waived you on December 17th, and then you're acquired by Maine Celtics on December 19th as well, and then going overseas so being waived on December 21st. So that's like a tough few days for you. That's crazy. I don't know how I don't play basketball anymore, but still, if that was me, I would want to. I'd be torn. So it must, as you said, it must have been a tough time. So I understand your frustration, definitely.
Yeah, that jump was crazy because then you would be lacing up against people that you know not better than you, but they getting a better opportunity or getting put in a better situation, or you get in a situation and they trying to reframe your game or control your game. So
Yep.
it's just different. And then it just came with a learning curve too. You know what I'm saying? My mental capacity wasn't where it is at today. It wasn't where it's at now back then. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Yeah.
it just was a sort of an imbalance. You know what I'm saying? And part of that reflects on me. I could have handled certain situations better, and not just quickly jump straight overseas. If I can go
Mm.
back, I probably wouldn't have went overseas so quick. I probably would have just stayed in the G League. But my agent I had at the time was pushing for me to do it, so I just listened to him. But I don't regret nothing though. At the end of the day, everything happened for a reason.
Mm. Well, we have a really close connection, I guess, with New Zealand being there. It's kind of like your Canada in a way. They're very close to us. Yeah, I feel like New Zealand is a place everyone wants to go, especially in Australia. They really want to travel to New Zealand. I would love to go. And, we do have a lot of New Zealanders who play basketball here. Vice versa, we have a lot who go over to New Zealand to play. And a very, very cold country, like we were speaking about with you being from Detroit, being from a really cold, snowy place. I guess maybe New Zealand may be the same. But quickly talk about being with them as you signed with the Manawatu Jets in the NBL NZ League. Talk about your time in New Zealand.
I love my time there. I love my teammates. I still got relationships with a lot of them today.
Yeah.
They was some of the best teammates I'd have made throughout my whole pro experience, basketball experience in general. You know what I'm saying? P, Tooks, Mustafa, JB, a lot of them,
Mm-hmm.
man. A lot of them was great guys, man. A lot of them was great guys. A lot of them. That's probably the first team I played on where I can look at the locals from top to bottom and genuinely say I fucked with all of them. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like they was all good people. You feel me?
Mm.
And just
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
I say basketball wise, it was fun. You know what I'm saying? You had me, Stoffer, JB. We always averaging like 20 points apiece. So
Mm.
like basketball wise, it was always a show. So I don't regret
Yeah.
nothing from my time over there.
A very competitive league as well, so you would have enjoyed your time. But Danny, we'll go through some of the games that we had for round 7. As I said, we're already up to round 7, and I actually, I did mention it before, but just if you're just watching the men's, I wasn't here on the weekend. I was at a wedding in Melbourne, so I actually haven't been able to see a lot of the action. I've actually been just seeing some of the highlights we had this week, so I couldn't get to a game this week. But first off, the Mandurah Magic went down to the Coburn Cougars 94-87. Lockie Bertram in this one, 19 points, 9 rebounds. And Michael Christmas as well, 15-3, having a great start to his season. Michael Dupree as well, back 15-5, 4 assists. And he's a guy that started off playing for the Giants, Michael Dupree, being in your position. And as well, he loved it. Exactly the same reason you mentioned, being able to focus on basketball. So someone, if you meet, you can chop it up with him. He's a great guy. Jock Perry, 12 points, 10 rebounds for him. And then for Coburn, they had a big win in this one, as you mentioned. And Johnny Narkle playing in his first game, 15 points, 2 rebounds for him. So they're really happy to have him. Rowan McKenzie, 21.6 rebounds. Akeem Springs, 13 points for him. And Nick Pond as well with 10 points. Sorry, Nathan Pond. I always call him Nick for some reason. And then also we go to the Willerton Tigers getting a 20-point win against the Senators. And the Senators, really have been struggling. And Will Cheddar, 24 points, 9 rebounds. Marshawn Blackman with 11 points. Tayshaun Cherry, 35 points and 1 rebound. And Tom Jerovich, 11-5. And then also, so a very big win for the Willerton Tigers. And they actually extended their record to 8-0. So they were undefeated until Saturday. But the Lakeside Lightning going down to the Prairie Lakes Hawks 95-73. And in this one, it was Corey Sherville, 11 points, 5 rebounds. And it was a Sun as well with 7 points, 1 rebound. And Prairie Lakes Hawks, a guy that's been really, really, really doing great since starting in the league a few games ago. Jack Browder, 38 points, 5 rebounds. Cam Hufner as well, 22 points, 9 rebounds. Isaiah Moses as well, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. And I know they're a team you faced. As I said, I was at the game. They've got some really, really, really tough shooters. And in that game, you guys were down a bit for quite a while in the game, and you guys actually got it back. I think maybe it's like 7 points, or it was under double digits, and you guys had a really big chance to, at least try and get closer or even get the lead. But they just kept hitting big shots. I don't know if you remember, but Jack Browder, he can hit some massive shots. Cam Hufner, he hit some massive shots. And then also Isaiah Moses as well. I could see it was really frustrating, especially when you guys are working so hard to get this lead and cut it down. And then they go and hit 2 or 3 threes in a row, which did happen. But the Hawks are a great team.
Yeah, I mean, they all right. I feel like next time we play them, I feel like we got their number. But you said it, though, man. It's just a game of basketball, bro. They was hitting some tough shots down the stretch, and you can't control that. You had shooters who can't shoot, hitting threes off the backboard at the end of the shot clock. You know what I'm saying? You can't control stuff like that, man. That's just what comes with basketball. Sometimes you just walk in the gym and it's just it's their whole team night, and that's kind of how I felt. You had everybody clicking. You know what I'm saying? So it was just one of them nights, man.
Yeah. And then also on Saturday, the Rockingham Flames 114-93 win against the Wolves. Michael Harris, 45 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. And there's been some really, really big players, really big scores this week. But I'm going to give him my player of the week for this week, being Base Compression player of the week. So shout out to him, 45, 8 and 5. He was great. I actually watched the second half of this one. As I mentioned, I got back from the airport last night, so I got back just at halftime, so I actually watched the second half, and he was going crazy. And the Wolves had a couple chances to come back in this one, and like I said, with a couple teams this season, they just hit some big threes at the end and got that 21-point win against the Wolves. But yeah, congratulations to him. And then Isaac White, 29 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. Then Blake Jones as well, 10 points, 11 rebounds. And Emmett Nair as well with 10 points. Then for the Wolves, Sharif Black, 34 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals. He was playing great. CJ Turner's really struggled in this one. 2 points, I think it was at halftime. And yeah, really, really struggled in this one. But I guess when it's not falling for you, Danny, what can you do, I guess? But he did have 12 rebounds, so at least. So, as I said, it's a tough one. When it's not falling, definitely frustrating. But I feel like with you as well, Danny, I haven't seen games where you've been struggling, but I guess you can also pass the ball. You love to pass to your teammates and everything, and also you're a big rebounder. You're a strong guy. I would not want to try box you out as well. What are you kind of trying to do if you are having a bad shooting night?
I mean, if I'm having a bad shooting night, I kind of try and get away from shooting the 3-ball and get to the midi. You know what I'm saying? Early on in my career, I try and shoot a ton of threes, being a double-digit shooting threes. Now I done kind of learned, like, if the 3-ball's not going, I kind of go to the midi. But I prefer to start inside the arc, you know what I'm saying? Get a couple easy ones in. But, like, if I'm getting some wide-open 3-point looks, then, of course, I'm going to shoot the ball. But I prefer to start off in that midi. The midi is my bread and butter, and it helps me get my flow and my game going, too.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, as I said, I watched a lot of tape of you in college, and when I could get some of you playing in your professional career, but I was really excited to have you in the league and see how you've been going. I'm annoyed I've only been able to see one game so far, but I'm excited to come out and watch more because that was a tough one against Perry Lakes. But we'll move on to your one as well on Saturday night. And man, what a tough one. 103 win to the Perth Redbacks. And I was a bit surprised about it. I was pretty surprised. They've got some big shooters. Isaac Eder was great. I could see Isaac, 32 points, 2 rebounds, 8 assists. Nick Floyd, 24 and 9. Sean Conway with 18. Sam Vincent with 30 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Michael Jock as well, 30 points, 7 rebounds. And yourself, Danny, 18 and 4 and 3 assists. Yeah, I guess I can't make you feel better about that one, but I think you guys, I did have a look and you guys were up in this one, but they scored 31 points to 17 in that final fourth quarter. It was pretty close in general, but what have you got to say about this tough one?
Man, they just got lucky for real. We was beating them, and then I kind of tweaked my calf.
Ah,
That's why I only played 18 minutes.
yeah.
So they kind of got lucky with that one. They snuck away with a win that they know that they shouldn't even have won.
Mm.
You know, it's just basketball. And then shout out to them though, man. Little dude, the guard,
Isaac, yeah,
man,
Ella.
Isaac, he hit some shit at the end of the game. I mean, I'm talking
Yeah.
about, he hit some shit at the end of the game. You can't take that away from him. He hit some big shots, man.
And he can hit them. I've seen him hit some big shots, some step backs, and he had some massive bombs against you guys. And I guess a great game for him. You've got to give him props. But is there anything you can take maybe positive wise from this one? Is there anything you're going to be talking about this week at training with the guys?
I feel like as a team we took a step forward though. I mean, we corrected a lot of our mistakes. And like you said, like we talked about, at the end of the game or in the game in general, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people making tough shots, you just can't control that. I mean, but that's not gonna happen every single night, as we know. You're not gonna play against a team, every single team you play every week, they're gonna make tough shot after tough shot after tough shot. Y'all both going bucket for bucket, bucket for bucket. That's not realistic. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
we've been talking about, coach been talking about this stuff like having a lot of sieves or some shit like that, where like you got a lot of leaks all around, and we
Yeah.
just been patching up all the leaks and stuff like that. You feel me? Building a camaraderie, patching up a lot of the leaks, and building our dynamic and identity. And I feel like this game that just passed, we did a great job of just taking a step forward. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
We didn't get the win as obviously you will always want to end it with a win. But at the end of the day, it was a lot of positives within the game and we took major steps forward as a team. You know?
Yeah, definitely. And then also the East Perth Eagles getting a win against the Eastern Suns. A huge win for the Eagles, 104-79. David Aquera, 28 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Lat Mayan with 13 and 7. And then Jonah Antonio with 12 and 4. And also 12 and 4 from Max Rice. They've got a squad. Marley Sam with 13 points in this one. Taranda Smith as well with 13. Lewis Thomas with 10. And they've had a few guys out as well. With Jordan, I think it was Jordan Simpson, my bad. Yeah, Jordan Simpson, their import. He's been out, but he played in this one. And then also Joe Cook Green as well. He's been out for a few weeks. So hopefully they can get him back. It's tough to have him missing. And then also we had a game on Sunday, and that was the Geraldton Buccaneers coming to Perth, taking on the East Perth Eagles. 102-74 win for the Buccaneers. Lat Mayan, 18 and 9 for him. David Aquera, 16 points, 4 assists for him. And then 11 points for Jonah Antonio. And for the Geraldton Buccaneers, Cooper Creek, big game as he's come in this week for the Geraldton Buccaneers, 26 points, 11 rebounds. Josh Keys as well signing this week for the Geraldton Buccaneers. I think he just won a championship in Asia somewhere, coming off of the championship last year. This guy just wins championship everywhere he goes. So, 26 and 10 for him. Liam Hunt with 17 and 12. So, a very big win for them. And, that's all we've got for round 7 in the men's division. And just quickly before we go into round 8 and what we're coming up this weekend, I guess as we can look at... Sorry, we are going to go through and look at next week's games. But Danny, I wanted to ask you, I'd say, is there something that people might not really know about you? Or is there something that you really enjoy doing that maybe no one really knows about you?
I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I like drawing. I say
Yeah,
that. A
really?
lot of people don't know I like drawing. I like drawing. I listen
Yeah.
to a lot of music, and I just like playing the game. I'm a big game head. I love playing the game. I don't really like going out and drinking and doing none of that stuff. I prefer to stay isolated, play the game, listen to music, draw, all that type of stuff.
Can
And
I
I
ask
write my
what...
journal. I write my
Oh, you
journal
run
a
your
lot.
journal?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
write. I
yeah.
got a journal. I write in my journal every day.
Every day, yeah. And if I can ask, what are you kind of drawing? That's really interesting.
I
What
like
do you kind of like to
anime.
draw?
I like to draw
Anime.
anime stuff.
There's a lot of guys around the league that really enjoy anime. I was talking to Tayshawn Cherry last week from Willetton. He's a massive anime guy as well, and I know there's a few guys as well that really enjoy it. But no, that's really cool. That's really cool to know. And then when you're playing PS5, I guess, if I'm correct, PS5 guy.
I got both, but I play on my Xbox.
And you brought him over from the States?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's kind of like your go-to to play on both of the consoles?
My go-to, it depends. If I got somebody to play the game with, I'm hopping on Warzone or 2K.
Yeah, okay.
If I'm by myself, I'm hopping on UFC. I love UFC.
Really?
Well,
You
that's
love
my
the
favorite
UFC?
game.
Yeah. It's actually a really good game. I played it a few times. Haven't played the newest ones. But yeah, very good game. And yeah, have you been, I guess you did put a post on your story a couple of weeks ago about getting some guys together to play
Yeah,
on
2K.
2K.
It be frustrating, man. I take 2K too serious, man. People be
Yeah.
trying to play 2K and play around. I hate losing. Even in
Yeah.
2K, it be pissing me off.
Yeah, and I did see you looking for some guys, and you wanted some elite level to help you get some dubs. But yeah, I was gonna message back, but I don't think I'd be able to help you. I think my guy's still about 70 overall, so I thought I'd stay out of it. But yeah, hopefully you find some guys to play with you as well. I know there's a lot of imports that do really
Yeah, I
enjoy
found
playing.
some hit me up. A couple imports from different teams hit me up too. So I've been
Yeah.
finding some guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of guys that do enjoy it. So any players around the league, hit up Danny because yeah, he needs some help with his team. But it's really interesting. And Danny, do you have like a game day kind of routine? Is there something you really have to do on the day, or like are you
The
superstitious
game,
about that stuff?
I
Yeah.
say what I do. So we go to shoot around, come back
Mm.
home. Well, when I first wake up, I am kind of superstitious. I say I get my protein yogurt in, I get my
Mm.
banana, I get my water. Then we go to shoot around, and then come back. I make me 8 eggs and some fruit,
Wow. Yeah.
and then I get in the shower, I ice, and then I go to sleep. Take like a 2 hour nap, and I get up, I eat, and then I hydrate, and then I get on my Normatec boots. Then I go to
Mm-hmm.
the gym. And I get treatment, stretch, all that type of stuff. I do the same thing every time. But before I go to the gym, I always play UFC. I
Oh,
always play
okay.
UFC. Yeah, I get my mind right off playing UFC before every game.
Yeah, get you in that fight mode.
And get me in that mode for sure, for sure.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I like to hear it from a lot of the guys and also the ladies I have on the show as well. How's it been with travel? It must be some of the toughest travel. I don't know if it's the toughest travel you've ever done, but when you've got those double headers in Perth, it's crazy. You'll play on maybe a Saturday or a Friday, and then you'll play the Sunday, and then straight after the game, you got to head back home. So talk to me about kind of the travel and how it's been for you.
It's actually not well. The worst travel I had was when I played in Finland. We had travel and then had to play the same day,
Oh,
so
okay.
it's not that bad because we had play on a Saturday, but we won't travel to Friday. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So like, it's actually not bad at all. Especially the way that they space it out and the way they do it, the way it don't overload your body and stuff like that. So I would say the travel not bad at all. Especially when you sitting there and you congregating and engaging with your team, you don't
Hmm.
even realize how fast the time go by. We be playing cards and all type of stuff. We got a table, we sit in the middle and all that. So it just be all vibes and fun and stuff like that. So the time just be moving.
And I always feel like the country teams might have somewhat of an edge sometimes because of, and I guess the travel's tough, but the edge in that you guys mesh together a lot more. You're spending a lot more time together, going to these games, coming home. Yeah, I feel like that's a kind of a strength for some of the country teams.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a straight. I just feel like you gotta. It just probably would take a little bit of time to really mesh and everybody
Mm.
gel and learn everybody. But once everybody learns everybody and you get the camaraderie and stuff like that clicking and going on all levels, then I definitely can feel like how that can be an advantage.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Danny, we'll go to the games for round 8 that we've got coming up this weekend. A lot of big games. Every week we've got some massive games. But this week, yeah, we've got some big ones. First off, on Friday the 15th, the Coburn Cougars taking on the East Perth Eagles. And Wally Hagan Stadium. This is going to be a tough one. I don't really know who to pick. East Perth, as we know, they got Lat May and David Aquera, some big guys on that team. Joan Antonio, when they're firing, and Joan Antonio a couple of weeks ago, 30 plus points, and he went off. And I feel like when he's firing with Lat May and also David Aquera, I feel like they're one of the most unstoppable teams. But Coburn, they just got Johnny Narkle. They just got Rowan's, feeling pretty healthy. Bringing in Akeem Springs as well, a championship caliber player. Yeah, I might. I was actually thinking Coburn, but I feel like they're going to struggle to match up against the big guys like Lat May and also David Aquera. So that's why I'm going to go for East Perth. I was about to go for Coburn just then.
Yeah, I go East Perth. I definitely would go East Perth for sure.
Yeah. And I know you might have not seen every team yet, Danny, but are you? Have you been doing a bit of research? Do you know some of the players around the league?
Yeah, I've been doing a little bit of research, watching some games and stuff like that.
Yeah. And do you kind of enjoy watching the other teams and getting to know some of the players, like, making sure you're ready and you know what they're capable of, because we've got some great players. But do you love doing your homework, I guess?
Yeah, I love doing my homework because I just love basketball.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely. And then also we've got the Perth Redbacks taking on the Lakeside Lightning at Belmont Oasis and Leisure Centre. So Redbacks are back at home after that tough journey to you guys. I really would love to see Lakeside get some wins, and they do have a good team. They do have a good team. I think they can get it this weekend, but if we see Isaac Eder go off, I don't think the Lakeside can get the win. But Lakeside, I'm just going to go for them in this one. I don't know if you've seen Lakeside yet.
Nah, we played Lakeside. We beat them already. I'm going with Redbacks.
Go with Redbacks.
Going with Redbacks for sure, man. It's hard for me not to go with the Redbacks after they just beat us,
Yeah, definitely. And then also Perry Lakes Hawks taking on the Warwick Senators. I love Warwick. I really love their team. But Perry Lakes have been, Perry Lakes have been. Yeah, Perry Lakes have been really playing good lately. And like you said, I can't go against Hawks, so I think you're going for Hawks as well.
Yeah, definitely go with Hawks over them.
Yeah. And then also on Saturday, Joondalup Wolves taking on the Giants and 7 p.m. And it's weird, I did mention some of the guys from Detroit as well.
You gotta make sure when you say people from Detroit, man, they gotta actually be from the city. Being from Saginaw and Pontiac and all that, that's not Detroit. You feel me? See, I'm from Detroit. It's a difference. I'm from Dexter.
Okay, so these guys are not from Detroit.
I'm not familiar with neither one of them, so I can't say they're not from Detroit. But I heard one of them from Saginaw. That's a difference.
Yeah. Okay, my bad. I apologize.
No, you ain't gotta apologize to me. I'm just helping you out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No worries. I appreciate it. This is going to be a really exciting game, and for you to go up against them. And I guess you haven't played at Joondalup yet. Arena Joondalup goes crazy. They love their team. It's one of the best kind of, I would say, one of the best kind of arenas to play in, definitely. And what have you guys got to do to beat the Wolves?
What's the point guard name? Black?
Sharif Black, yeah.
First off, we got to slow him down and then just play our game. You feel me? I feel like our principles in our game is more than enough to win games. You know. So I just feel like we got to stick to our own principles and keep gelling and improving and taking the right steps in the right direction as a team, and the results will follow and show for themselves. And outside of that, just shut down opposing teams' key players, and then I feel like 1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah, correct. And also with you, being maybe one of the older guys, I know you're only 28 as well, but are you kind of more of a leader in this team? I know you are very vocal with these guys, but have you been helping out some of the younger guys as well? And kind of what's been your role? I know you're an import. They expect you to score, make some rebounds and some big plays. But with this team, do you have any other roles? With helping these young guys as well?
I mean, we got our captains and all that stuff, but I just try and be a consistent voice. I'm trying to get people to put the work in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I try and be like somebody who they can see doing it and not just always telling them. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
showing them the right way to go about things and stuff like that. You know, like and then at the same time I'll be constantly on them, telling them to get in the gym and et cetera, et cetera. You know, because they're young,
Yeah.
so I be trying to get them to understand they should always be outworking me.
Yeah, correct. Yep. And then also the Warwick Senators taking on Coburn. I feel bad going against Warwick twice, but I really like this Coburn team, so that's why I'm going to go for Coburn in this one, Danny.
Yeah, I would go with them too. I agree with that one.
Yeah, and then the Jolton Buccaneers taking on the Slammers. Slammers are 1-8 this season. Look, they've got a very very young team, another country team as well, but I don't think they're going to beat Jera this weekend.
Nah, they got some cool guys over there, but nah, I don't think they beating them either.
No, yeah. I heard they got some really good guys. I heard their imports and some of their guys. I know, Devin Craig and a few of their young guys, Pharrell Keats. So, but I heard the imports are real good guys, so I'd love to get them on the show as well if they're interested. And then the Willerton Tigers taking on the Rockingham Flames at 7 p.m. Willerton Basketball Stadium.
I'm going Flames.
You going Flames? Yeah. Tayshaun Cherry's gonna be mad. He's my guy. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the Flames as well, man. I'm gonna go for the Flames. Such a tough team.
Yeah, I'm going Flames for sure. But I'm guessing you back in the Wolves when we played them because you didn't say who you thought was gonna win. That's crazy work.
I was
That I wasn't gonna beat that. Yeah, I definitely beat that.
yeah. I like that though. I like it. Do you know what? I'm gonna go for the Wolves. I'm gonna go for the Wolves, but they've really got to do some big things. They're coming off a big loss against Rockingham as well. CJ having a really quiet game. Caleb Davis getting fouled out as well. I think if you could get really physical with Caleb and also CJ and get them out of their comfort zone, and then the guards can work on Sharif, you guys have a very good chance to win this game though.
Yeah, I mean, we got a chance to win any game we step on the court into. So it just comes down, like I said, it comes down to us just sticking to our principles and doing what we got to do to win.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Checking me. That's good. I love it. That's amazing. No one else has checked me on the show, so I really appreciate it. I love it.
Nah, you good, man. I wouldn't even call it checking you. I just wanted to see what you thought.
Yeah, but that's a really good one. I would love to get down to that one. So if I got some time, I'm not sure if I actually don't know who I'm commentating this week as well. So I'll have to have a look. And then the Eastern Suns taking on the Mandurah Magic. If this was maybe a few weeks ago, I would have been going the Suns. But Magic are looking really good.
I haven't really done no research on the Magic, but I see the Suns is decent, but it seems like they kind of falling. They kind of sliding a little bit now.
Yeah. Well, the Suns, as I said, they've lost, Joe Cook Green, so one of their main guards. Who else did they lose? I'm having a mind blank. But they've actually lost a few players, and then also the Mandurah Magic, they've had one of the guys that plays in the NBL, so the league above us, Matt Kenyon come in, Michael Christmas, their import, and then also Michael Dupree, their import. They've got a deep starting five, but I feel like on the bench, they might lack a bit of depth. Ryan Blanchard on the bench, a good, guy who's an ex-champion, multiple championships with Geraldton. But yeah, I'm going to go with Mandurah in this one. But like you said, I think Suns could get it as well, and it is at home as well for them, Rayo and Sports Centre.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough.
Oh yeah, definitely. And as well, this is a tough weekend for you guys. You got the you got the Rockingham Flames and the Goldfields. Rockingham Flames taking on the Goldfields Giants, 1 p.m. So you got to go all the way to Rockingham as well. And they do it. They have a great game day as well. Their fans get around them. Look, I know you said you've got to shut down, their main guys, and they've got a couple main guys: Michael Harris, Isaac White, Blake Jones. This is going to be a really interesting game, and I would actually like you to beat them. I want you guys to beat them because I think they're one of the best teams in the league. And when you have these great teams with these great players, you kind of want to see them get beat. But I think it's going to be a big test for you guys this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always rocking with the home team, though. So that don't change. Like I said, as long as we stick to our principles, man, and
Mm-hmm.
do what we gotta do, I feel like we can beat anybody. I don't care who they
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, and that's it. That's how you gotta be. So yeah, that's gonna be a tough weekend for you guys. But I guess you're up for the challenge. I guess you seem like you're really up for the challenge anyway.
It's basketball, man.
But yeah, that's all the games for round 8 and round 7 in the NBL One West this week and last week. But yeah, it's been a great show so far. Well, it's been a great show in general. But yeah, before we go, Danny, I really appreciate your time, man. It's been really, really fun to talk to you. And like I said, I really appreciate your time, man.
I appreciate you for having me, man. I'm glad we finally could connect.
No worries. And I'll let you go. It's getting dark there. You better get some sleep and also we've got a big weekend ahead of you, as we said, a big week. And yeah, I'm really happy to see you guys. And hopefully, yeah, as I said, I can get down to more games as well. But Danny, again, man, been great to talk to you, man. I'd love to come and see you in person next time you're here in Perth.
For sure, man. Feelings mutual. Again, thank you for having me, man.
No worries. And for the listeners, hopefully you enjoyed the show and check out all of our sponsors that I mentioned before. And yeah, download the NBL One app. You can check out all the games, all the news, all the videos, standings, everything. And yeah, we'll be back next week for more Fast Break Radio.